get it.
Ladies and gentlemen of Knucklehead Nation, we're here with, you know who, Oscar Mueller. Oscar Mueller.
Back at it. Back at it.
What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm great. You know, growing, getting better.
Yeah.
Ready for another one.
Well, the gym's looking great,
Thank you.
as usual. I know you've expanded since the last time we came down here.
Absolutely.
So congrats on that.
Thank you. You know, it's gone through some tough times as far as the pandemic, but luckily we were able to expand and still grow, and we got people consistently still coming to check us out. So it's great.
And you're very much, Oscar Mueller, you're very much, if it doesn't kill me, it makes me stronger kind of guy.
Absolutely.
And this is deja vu, because the last time we were here, you were signed and ready to fight Joshua Fachtmann.
That's right.
I believe, yeah.
Yep, that's right.
And here we are today, and we've got an announcement. You're fighting Joshua Fachtmann in a rematch, and this time it's for an IKF title, because the former IKF title holder in the division, actually both divisions at 153 and 147, is going pro on the next show. He's vacating, and I thought the next two best guys were Oscar Mueller and Joshua Fachtmann. Kind of tell me, you know, how you feel going about, or how you feel about going back into this fight with Joshua, and it being for a title this time around.
Anytime you get to fight for a title is exciting. Anytime you get to go in there and display your skills, and there's a belt on the line, I mean, that already gives you goosebumps. But then you add to that a competitor across the ring that you know is going to bring the fight. You know, and I've said it before, the dude is a warrior. I know that without any doubt now, because I've been in the ring. We shared the ring together, and you know, I think that this is going to be a fight that's going to bring fireworks again, and you're going to have a lot of excitement, a lot of hype behind it. I know he's going to be working hard, just as much as I'm going to be working hard. So it's going to be exciting.
You predicted a tough fight before the first one, and man, that was, you know, a lot of people, again, Oscar Mueller involved in another classic FightersRep bout. It was Wilson Ha in the first one, Joshua Fachtmann in this second one. It was an absolute war. And as soon as it was done, people were calling for a rematch. Not because it was controversial or anything like that, but because it was such a great fight. And it was close, like a split decision or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Fantastic fight, this time for 5 rounds, though, Oscar. Gotta tell me, you know, if anything, you know, what are you going to try to do differently in this fight, if anything? And of course, don't give away any game plan if you don't have to.
No, we've sat down, we talked about it a little bit. I think that we'll approach this fight a little bit different. But you know, it's a 5-rounder. We've been looking for another 5-rounder fight. That's what we want, whether it was title or not. We wanted a longer fight. I have the gas tank to go. I know I have the gas tank to go. The Wilson Ha fight was a good indicator of that, right? You can gauge it off of that fight for sure. So pedal to the metal is what we like to do. So we have the platform to showcase that, and so I think it's going to be all go.
Speaking of Wilson Ha, it's interesting because he's actually he's already turned pro.
Right.
And he's actually fighting Bolton, who vacated the title that you're going to be fighting for against Fachtmann. They're going to be fighting each other, Bolton and Ha. Yeah. So that's pretty interesting. I wanted to ask you, though, you know, was that your first 5-round bout, the one versus Ha? Or
No.
Okay.
No. I've had multiple 5-round fights. You know, and you learn a lot off of a 5-round fight. When you initially start and you do a 3-rounder, you definitely learn and you grow, and you understand that cardio is king. You understand that cardio will make cowards of men. And if you don't have the cardio, a lot of things go to the wayside, and so you work on those things. Having the experience of fighting in a 5-round fight, I think, is really important. So that experience will definitely help me through this fight.
And, you know, I gotta say, I mean, I think I've told you this before, but this rule set and 5 rounds, I think I don't see how it's not in your favor, this rule set and 5 rounds, because like you said, you know, you've got cardio for days. I've seen that firsthand. And, you know, I just think the rule set is better for you. I think you're more of a kickboxer, to be honest with you. I think your Muay Thai is solid, of course, but I think just in Muay Thai, people can hold you. You know, I do think your cardio is one of your best attributes. I think in Muay Thai, people can hold you and try to hold you off. In a kickboxing rule set, I think people have to fight Oscar Mueller for 5 rounds straight.
Right.
And I think that's a tough thing to do. Although I do think Joshua Fachtmann is going to be, ready. But, kind of tell me, you probably don't, I don't know if you agree with me on that, but how do you feel about that? Where in a kickboxing rule set, you have to fight Oscar Mueller for 5 rounds. With Muay Thai, you can sweep him, you can, keep him off, you can clinch him.
Well, I think there's different ways to look at it. And it really always depends on who your opponent is.
Right.
Sometimes your skill sets may fit a kickboxing scenario, and sometimes it may fit a Muay Thai scenario.
Right.
I'm a Muay Thai guy. I love Muay Thai and everything about it. You just have good nights, bad nights. You have days where you're the superior grappler or clincher, and you have days where that's not the case.
Yeah.
And same thing with striking. So it really depends. But I like the fact that I can let my hands go in kickboxing, let my kicks go in kickboxing, and not have to worry about certain things. But I like the Muay Thai aspect of it because you have to set those things up.
But the pace, would you say the pace is a little bit higher in the
Definitely.
bout?
Kickboxing pace is always going to be higher
Right.
because Muay Thai in general, you have certain paces throughout the fight in different rounds, right? One round you might go hard. Next round you might clinch a little more, you might slow down a little bit. So it's just different.
Maybe I'm just biased and trying to keep you as a kickboxer forever.
That's possible.
But yeah, I do think, and I'm not saying Joshua doesn't. He's got an excellent gas tank as well as we saw in your last fight. But that's definitely something that stuck out to me was your pace. And I just feel like the kickboxing fast-paced action, it's a very good rule set for you. But anyway, I'm really excited to watch you compete, Oscar. We're hoping the world doesn't shut down. We're hoping the world stays open. We're keeping our fingers crossed.
Yeah, I agree with that. Listen, I'm going to say one thing about the Fachtmann fight, and I want to make sure that it's on record. I was smiling in that fight, and I listened to the commentating when I was rewatching the fight, and one of the commentators said, usually when you smile, it's because you've gotten hurt. Make no mistake, I was not hurt in that fight. Make no mistake about that. I was smiling because I was in my home. I felt at home. I really enjoy what I do. This is a passion that you guys get to see, but that I get to display. And so that smile was really me being happy because I hadn't gone in the ring in such a long time. And so make no mistake about that. I was smiling because I was enjoying the moment.
I love that. And how long had you not fought before that fight?
I mean,
since before the
was,
pandemic.
Yeah,
right?
that was since before the pandemic. So, and I'm not shying away from what the emotions that you feel, right? Going back into the ring after such a long break, it does feel different. But once you settle in, and I settled in, there was a smile because I enjoyed it. I was like, okay, I'm back where I needed to be. I know where I am. I know what it is. Now we can go.
I love it.
So,
So you said you weren't hurt when you were smiling, but that was a hell of a fight, man. And you guys were landing some shots on each other.
right.
At any point, were you a little buzzed? Did you feel anything crazy in there?
No. That's what was interesting is that, I didn't feel at any point. There was no point where I felt like, oh, I got caught in that second. And that happens from time to time. And you shake it off. It's not that big of a deal. But that didn't happen.
Yeah.
And taking nothing away from Josh.
Sure.
The kid can hit for sure. But it wasn't to the point where I was like, man, I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
It was a fight. Okay, you hit me. I felt that. I'm gonna hit you back.
Yeah.
We can keep going.
Did anything surprise you in there?
Yes.
With Josh?
Yes, but I won't tell you what it was. I won't tell you what it was. But yeah, there was a couple things that caught me off guard. There's like 2 things that I can recall right now off the top of my head that caught me off guard about him. But it wasn't enough to where it was gonna deter me or stop me from doing what I needed to do. So.
Gotcha. Did the fight go as you thought it would go?
No, it did not go as, and that is all because of Josh.
Yeah.
Because he's a tough dude. I thought it was I was gonna be more dominant than that. And the fact that it was a split decision, it was a lot closer. in people's eyes that it makes, it made, for sure it made it an impact in the community, but it didn't go the way I thought it was going to go.
You mentioned the impact in the community. This is something I want to tell you. As you know, I'm a promoter. Things get back to me. Do you feel that you earned more respect in the community after that fight than you already had? Because for me, I do feel like, the community's still a little cliquish at times.
Yeah.
There are certain regions where, okay, this is the man over here, this is the man over there.
Right.
And these regions are now starting to collide and conflict with each other a little bit. And so, that creates fights like we saw with you and Joshua last time, and creates respect and reputations and so on and so forth. Do you feel like you gained more respect from the community after that fight? Because if you ask me, I think you definitely did.
Yeah, I think anytime that you see a fighter put everything on the line in the ring in that fashion and come and get it the same way that Josh came to get it, in the same way that I do it every time, you gain a little bit more respect from everybody. Everybody notices or takes notice, says, okay, this dude's here to fight. He's not here to run. He's not here to try. He's here to get it, right? Could you do things better every time you fight? Yeah, absolutely. But win, lose, or draw, the fact that you step in there, people notice that and people respect that on a different level. So yeah, I feel like there is a level of respect that you gain. I'm not too concerned about that though. Right. I'm not worried about whether that place or this place respects me. The only place I need to respect me is my students here, my teammates here, my teammates with Team Victory. Those are the people I'm most concerned about. At the end of the day, the love and the support is what takes you through these fights. But the people that are closest to you are the ones that you want to respect you, the ones that you want to feel the love for, right?
For sure. No, for me, I guess as the promoter and as a fan, I'm a fan of you guys. At the same time, it's interesting and it's an entertainment factor for me to see how, okay, this guy's coming from this part of the city.
Yeah.
He's an unknown commodity to us. We know Josh. We think Josh is going to be able to handle this guy or whatever.
Right.
And then me, I kind of know what other people don't, haven't dealt with both of you and knowing both your personalities and stuff. So for me, it's awesome to see, like, okay, this side collide with that side, and then they both come away and like, oh shit, like that guy's a real dog. That guy's a dog. So I kind of love that. I love that.
That's a beautiful thing. One of the things that I think a lot of people don't get to see is the communication that happens either before, during, or after the fight. And what I mean by that is when we announced the fight with Josh the first time around, I didn't get any messages, any random messages, right? Then the fight happens, and after the fight, everybody's like, "Yo, congratulations! I know Josh. He's a tough dude, man. Congratulations to both of you." And then I noticed, I'm like, "Oh, you follow Josh? Like, oh, so these people knew."
Right.
So yeah, you get that level of respect where people start to like, oh yeah, like this dude's solid, like he's somebody I like,
And you guys kind of create fans and kind of share each other's fans.
Yeah, for sure.
Which I think is very cool.
And I think that the important part too, though, is that the showing the respect. Him and I clearly respected each other after that fight. There was no disrespect, no animosity. And that's other people see that and they say, okay, that's good. Like win or lose, you show that respect.
See, I love that you bring that up because my next kind of question or comment was, in watching the fight, and some of the slow motion footage, I noticed after the fight you both right away got on your knees to pay respects to each other.
Right.
Because that was a fucking war. I mean, let's be honest with each other. And what sticks out in my mind is you looking at him looking at you while you're both on your knees, and you're shaking your head no, like damn.
Yeah.
Like we just did that to each other. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I said it before, that I knew he was a warrior, right? And he carries himself that way. But anybody that's going to stand tall in there the way he did, you earn that respect, right? Whereas somebody that's going to run or somebody that's going to do things a little different, and my level of respect for you is going to be different, right? So he definitely earned my respect. He already had it before that, but he definitely earned it to another level after that fight.
For sure. So Oscar, February 18th, FightersRep 12. We're chewing at the bit. Oscar Mueller versus Joshua Fachtmann, the rematch for the IKF title at welterweight. Man, I absolutely cannot wait for this fight. This fight by itself, I think, could sell out an arena. I love this fight. What can we expect from Oscar Mueller
Well,
in
look,
that fight?
February 18th is a date I've already marked on my calendar. It's a 5-round fight. You already know I'm bringing the dog, so I'm coming hard. I'm coming straight for him. As much as I respect him, I think the only way to show him that level of respect is by giving him 100 and him giving me 100. So I'm coming straight for him. So Josh, just make sure you stay ready because you already know I'm working.
I love it, man. I love it. Oscar, I'm going to ask you to do me a couple favors here. Tell these knuckleheads to subscribe like you always do.
Yeah, you
brother.
already know, man. Look, listen, if you haven't already, you must be living under a rock. Subscribe, tap into Knucklehead Nation, right? YouTube, IG. Are you guys on Facebook even?
We're everywhere,
Everywhere.
man,
Come
yeah.
on. The website, they got merch. Tap in. Great promotion. Always puts the fighters first. I wouldn't be here continuously if it wasn't that way. If you guys know me, you know I carry myself and conduct myself a certain way, and I surround myself with those kind of people. FightersRep does the same.
I appreciate that so much. One more thing I wanted to say, Oscar, is you're proud of your Salvadoran heritage. The way Fachtmann's proud of his Korean heritage. You both rock the flags into the Lion's Den before you compete and hold them up proudly afterwards.
For sure.
I believe it's important to, let people know, especially in El Salvador, that there is a fighter of Salvadoran descent of your caliber. Is there anything you want to tell the people of El Salvador, the Salvadoran Americans that may be watching you, that may be aspiring to be fighters? Anything you want to say to that community?
Real quick, just shout out to all the salvadoreños out there. Make sure that you guys show up. Make sure that you guys show love. Para toda la gente salvadoreña, ya saben, acá estamos, un guanaco representando a nuestra gente. Vengan a apoyar, a enseñarnos el amor y a enseñar a todo el mundo el orgullo que tenemos para nuestro piojito. Entonces, a darle duro.
I love it, ladies and gentlemen of Knucklehead Nation.
Also, one more thing, real
Yeah.
quick. SixSideMuayThai.com, Sixside Muay Thai IG. Make sure you guys check out Satra. That's the gear right here. Always representing. So shout out to Satra Wu. Always keeping us fresh.
And where do we follow you?
Make sure you follow me, Oscar.O1.M. All right.
I love it, ladies and gentlemen of Knucklehead Nation. Oscar Mueller. Thank you, Oscar.